Okay. Alright, Alice. Curious calling card has been sent to the Muran Temple, giving notice of a theft. Garthol mentions finest around the scene to foil the crime, but to no avail. Suspicion fell on Alice Magitloid, but was she always this small? I mean, surely it's gonna go better than last time, right? In the last case. Who's this? Bjorn Temple. Bjorn Temple Sanctum. Miss Patchley, the appointed time is in 2 minutes. So it seems. Well, have you noticed anything unusual? No, there's nothing to report. But what on earth could this thief be thinking? Missed the show trial? It's for the better you missed the show trial. You missed the end of it. It was one of the worst things I've ever had to experience in my life. Because of them, we're here, waiting at the scene before the crime even happened. It feels backwards. Question mark, question mark? I have the VOD on YouTube. If you want to watch just the absolute me losing my sanity with the ending of that last trial, you can go watch it. I don't know if I'd recommend it because it's the worst trial to date by far, in my opinion. Like, it was worse than the previous Sinai Reimu trial. True enough, very soon we'll be catching a criminal who will claim I haven't done anything yet. In the first place, until there's been an incident, there aren't any criminals or victims. I mean, isn't there a conspiracy to commit? Isn't that a crime? Well, we can't just let a crime happen on our watch. Of course not. We cannot let the thief treat our police force like a joke. Once we get our hands on them, I'll make sure to extract due compensation. Sakia, compensation is not something a police officer should be bringing up. Is it not? Yes, in some contexts, this could be considered soliciting something. What? That was an explosion behind the temple. Sakia, take your maid and investigate. I'll keep an eye on things here. Marissa? Understood. You're in temple back wall. Is everyone alright? Yes, are the others fine too, Miss Sakia? Police maid. Like the police made me... yes, we are unharmed. But you look like you're nursing your knee. I just stumbled a little. Never mind that. Report. There's an explosion and made this big hole in the wall. Really hard to see. A hole in the wall. It's a dirty free... Yo, Kesha, where are you at? It can't be. Miss Sakia? Hurry, back to Miss Patchley. I had a terrible feeling. Though I suppose anyone would have a bad feeling in this situation. I wonder, by the mistress's power, could I have changed this fate? Ah, Miss Patchley! Miss Patchley! Patchy's dead. Culprit escaped us that night. They committed not just one crime, but two. We have a true hardened offender on our hands this time. How are they going to get out of any punishment? Unless it's Marissa, or Reimu, or Tenchi. But they slipped right past us. With so many officers on the scene, no one caught sight of the perpetrator. Whoever did this was just playing with us all like puppets. The curtain closed on this nightly puppet show. Very many mysteries left unsolved. The turn of Remy, I'm assuming. Okay, so here's the question: who's going to be the perpetrator? Obviously, I want to lean towards Alice. Also, who would throw Alice under the bus? Marissa. It's Marissa, obviously. Surely fairy maid policewomen are reliable, yeah. Good morning, Aya. This is unacceptable. Aya? This is unacceptable. It was so important I said it twice. Excuse me. Hey, don't just leave. At least tonight she finally gets her hands on the box of shoya. Well, when Aya's already acting like this in the morning, it's best to run away. I'm standing right here, you know. So, what happened? Or rather, is there a problem? Out of restaurant conspiracy, true. There is! Miura and Temple got a strange letter yesterday. A letter? Oh my goodness. Pat. I capped you on that run earlier, so I could pat you on the head. I feel good about it. Yes, an extremely strange letter. In short, it said that on the night of April 30th at 9, Byakuren's grimoire would be stolen. Can't rule out Tay. Like, we've pretty previously had a Tay trial. No way they do that again. That would be announcing a crime. Exactly. I thought I'd go witness that moment as a reporter and write an exclusive article, but the police stopped me. He has a grimoire? Yeah, it used to be called the Grimoire of Byakuren, but then Marissa stole it and posted it under her name. They told me no one except those concerned could come near. Well, they have no idea who the thief could be. Obviously, they'd be suspicious of everyone. What if it is Remy? And besides, this is a pretty important matter. Sure, all the other Tengu heard about it too, so even getting anything exclusive would be a bit... murder. Even then, if the police had advanced notice... Oh right, on top of everything else, I heard the culprit escaped the police. They haven't even been caught yet? Sounds like it. Must be an amazing thief to do all this and still not get caught. They stole and sold it to Marissa, yeah. Escaping Saki seemed possible. Shush. That's it. We're gonna do our own investigation and find that master thief before the police can. And then that exclusive article won't be a mere dream anymore. But even if you do catch the culprit yourself, won't you end up having to defend them in court? This is unacceptable! It was so important, I said it thrice. Well, there's nothing I can do about it. Let's just go to the scene for the time being. But no one's been arrested yet. I'm a journalist first and foremost. If I write articles on the incidents, people will need to also read the articles on the trials to see how it ends. Oh, I see. That's just like you, Aya. You never let an opportunity pass you by. Psychiatric ability, she could have caught the thief. What if they're invisible? Then let's not waste any time. Begin the investigation. Terribly sorry, but there's no need for you to bother. Hello, Sakia. Miss Patchy. Oh, it's Patchy. What are you doing here? Oh, never mind. Patchy's fine. We've already arrested a suspect in the case of the Mjorin Grimoire, Alice Magitroid, but she denies the charge. Like Seija? I don't think she existed by this time. In other words, I'm going to be defending her. Yes, you're going to be your court-appointed attorney. Remy will be the prosecutor. I mean, can't rule Apache yet. You must have some kind of grounds to be calling her a suspect, right? But of course, we have 2 pieces of decisive evidence. It's 2? Go straight to the holding cell. You'll learn of at least one of them, whether you like it or not. Nice face, by the way. What could that mean? And now you'll have to excuse me. I still have plenty of other work to take care of. We just head there right now? I guess. Oh boy, I can't wait to see if the game's gonna pull out this time. Oh boy, it's September now. My ever-dependable assistant, she even has spell cards of her own now. But can't be used while the court system is in effect yet. Prosecutor in charge of this case. Oh, she's the prosecutor. Okay. Get wrecked. Bring with confidence, she even came all the way to my office to force Alice's defense on me. There's one thing that's bothering me. Just one? What is it? It's a calling card, of course. Why would Alice write a calling card? I know what you mean. It's like screaming, please catch me. But the thief got away with it at the scene, right? True. Then she was caught the very next day. Everything feels so mysterious. Can't wait for Aki and Patchy to make it out in the other room again. Oop. I think we took the wrong turn somewhere. This is the only holding cell, isn't it? We waited 3 games for this Nue time to appear? Nah. They don't care about Nue. Why would Nue steal from the Myoran Temple? Like, I actually thought of Nue as, like, why would she steal from the Myoran Temple? Although, knowing this game, I can't rule anything out. Yeah, Alice isn't here, is she? She shouldn't be questioning. How mysterious. Oh, it's because she's small. Why? Wait, why is she small? That's actually... Hold up. Hey, are you two ignoring me on purpose? Like Fudodin, I don't think we have TD characters yet. I'm gonna complain to Sakuya. I'm not a babysitter. My head's so damn big. Because it's anime. I'm Touhou. It's an anime? It is anime. If you must complain about something else. Pay attention when people are speaking to you. Please, Iku appear. I know, bring her back. Bring her back! Sorry, little girl, but I'm busy. I don't have time to play with you. But, where could Alice have gone? I was saying, I'm standing right here. Momiji, you went through this before. Surely you should understand. You're getting Sakuya. I won't let them treat me like an idiot. You must complain. Complain somewhere else. I'm telling you, I'm Alice. Why are you ignoring me? Simple question. The Alice I know isn't a small child. Dude, we've literally had this conversation before. Well, I'm not happy to be like this either. Don't you think she looks a lot like Miss Alice? Wait, who's known if your clue steal from the VR? Yeah. You know, she must be Alice's little sister. Aha, I hadn't thought about that. Alice lays eggs. And this is what came out of Alice's egg. Just like the egg conversation we had earlier. I am her. Why don't you just listen? Whoa, please don't cry. I'm not crying. We've literally had this whole conversation before in 2.5. Your eyes are pretty wet for someone who's not crying. What a nuisance. I told them this would happen. Ah, Remelia. What kind of prank is this? Prank, you say? If only it were that simple, Shrimple. What do you mean, Miss Remy? Wait, is this little girl really... You know it was Byakuren's grimoire that was stolen, don't you? As a magician, she specializes in spells that alter physical attributes. Such as, for instance, rejuvenating the body. So this is why they're gonna say that she got shrunk, is because she stole the grimoire and accidentally shrunk herself. Gyakuten got a lullifying grimoire, yeah. Rejuvenate? No way! That this kid is... I've been telling you this from the beginning. If she used the spells in the grimoire and became this little girl, that's impossible. Don't tell her no skate true. Aya, stop daydreaming. What Miss Remelia said is true, then Alice. Oh, you're sharper than you look. This is our first decisive evidence. Yeah, Momiji's the only one that's sharp in these games. I see. If Alice used Byakuren's spells to turn to a child, then she's the one who stole Byakuren's grimoire. Are you kidding me? I never stole any grimoires. The decisive evidence is Alice herself. Well, it looks like you are all on the same page now. Then I'll leave you to your work. I presume your little get-together has much to discuss ahead of the trial. He's not wrong, this is a real mess. There's something we have to make absolutely clear before we talk about anything else. Which is, did you use Byakuren's grimoire? Don't be ridiculous! I never even touched that book. And how'd you turn into a child? Yes, we have fingerprint evidence over Alice on this book. We also have a witness on the scene. Freaking Kogasa was there, and she's like, I heard Alice go, ha ha, I'm gonna steal this grimoire. So I have to get that on my system. Very unusual for Remy or Patchy talk to us for the trial itself. Yeah, weird. I couldn't tell you. You don't know. This morning, I went to Marissa's house. There was no answer, no matter how much I knocked. When I tried the doorknob, I felt a shock go through my whole body, and I lost consciousness. Shock makes me think Iku. First was Yoshika. Again, I don't think Time Desire should be in this game. This game came out before TD was out, I believe. I mean, Marissa was someone I was suspicious of, and, like, Iku's up there, too, because of electricity. Who else is... Anyone else relate to that at all? I mean, Tojiko, but, again, I don't think Tojiko is in this. When it came to, you were like this. Oh, I know. It's that one thing. The appearance of a child, the brains of an adult, right? What? Electricity? I mean, here's the thing. We know that Iku was involved in girl shrinking mechanics in the past in these games, so it's not impossible, not probable in my opinion, but it's not impossible to see it again. Mombiji, what the hell are you talking about? Oh, this is a story I read in some books I found at Korondo. What is he carrying? Sounds interesting. I'll look into it next time I go. I feel like you're not listening to me. But it must be my imagination. Excuse me. You were saying? Poor Alice. Oh, I'm sorry. I won't ever do it again, so please don't cry. I'm fine. Do you think I'm the thief, too? You have 2 past offenses like this on the this one on record, don't you? Right. First was the affair with the Iente jar. I stole that love potion and framed Marissa. Okay, they are referencing past occurrences. Please cry, Alice, and let Iku appear. Yeah. Second was the time Tate tricked me into robbing Mistia's stall. Looks like I'm reaping what I've sown. No matter what I say, no one will believe me. Eventually told me you deny the charge. That's why I've come here, as an attorney. So tell me, Alice. I didn't do it. I never laid a finger on Byakuren's grimoire. Then I'll believe you. You're gonna be defending me? Well, that's my job right now. Thanks to a certain someone, I have to do it. You seem to have plenty of worries. Is being a lawyer this taxing? Honestly, I wish I could get myself replaced. It's Mercer's house involved. A book was stolen. It's on most listeners. Yeah, I said her the moment it was brought up. Actually, from the very beginning, when it's like Alice is the one being framed. I'm like, who's gonna frame Alice? First person comes to mind is Marissa. But this game could do anything. You never know. The de facto chief of police, but it seems she's not taking part in the investigation or doing anything in particular this time. The defendant this time, she was turned to a child by magic, and then she was arrested for stealing Byakuren's grimoire. Guess she's a pretty unlucky magician. This is the notebook you always have with you. At least she knows what a notebook is. Destructive theft is Marissa's MO. Yeah, the moment the explosion went off, I was like, oh, it's Marissa. But I'm like, is it too obvious? I wonder if this is how Marissa felt when she was arrested for the theft of that pot. Can't see into either of your heads, but I don't think she felt anything like you must now. Of course. I mean, Marissa didn't get herself turned into a kid. If she had been, I'm sure she'd just continue acting like the thoughtless idiot she is. Whoa there! The Yuri fanfics are in shambles right now. You're probably right. Well, speaking of Marissa, you said you went to her house this morning. Yes. And that was when you turned to a child. That's right. Why'd you go there at all? This early in the morning, too. I was returning a book. A book? Marissa invited me to come to her house out of nowhere yesterday. A book caught my eye there, and I asked her to lend it to me. Marissa agreed at first, but just after I'd taken it home, she demanded I return it. Funny Patchy did this all along, pinning the crime on to Alice and Marissa. True. It's strange to lend something away, then ask for it back immediately, isn't it? I didn't even get to have a look inside, in fact. It was what she asked, so I went to return it in this morning. When we touched your doorknob, you turned to a kid. Yes. I do not understand it any more than you do. It's not good, because I don't understand at all. Remember, the person who made the minus 10-year pills was Aaron. I have no evidence yet. Hey, we're back here again. Oh, Aaron emote. That is... I need people to go find me some Aaron emotes. Not just one, but multiple. That is sacrilegious. Good morning. Ah, you are the Tengu lawyer, aren't you? I never had a chance to thank you for what you did for show. Don't remind me. Literally, don't remind me. No, it was nothing. Speaking of which, Miss Gyakuten, you've met another misfortune. Oh, yes. The culprit has already been caught. So it seems. It always feels a bit awkward telling the victim I'll be defending the culprit. But I heard it was Alice who was arrested. Have you met her before? Of course. She had visited us before. Or Shoshin was never got her green tea and rice cookies, yeah. Well, they are both magicians. I guess they'd have all kinds of things to talk about. But I always thought of her as a very gentle girl. So please do not judge her too harshly. It must be that some unfortunate circumstances forced her to do this. Are you sure you don't believe she's innocent? But I also do not want to suggest Patchley has been doing poor work. What to do? She really is too kind, and I don't mean that as a compliment. Oh! I love this stage theme. Why are we getting this, though, this time? This is what might be my favorite stage theme from UFO. It's so out there. Fine book. Many years experience with gun to I can tell. Stage 4, yes, this is stage 4. Do 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 do. The stage theme. For now, please tell me about the Institute. But that makes me think Marasa, then. For now, please tell us about the Institute. It all began around noon yesterday. Received a letter telling you the grimoire was going to be stolen. Yes. I was quite shocked. I'd never received a letter like this one before. Oh, is this gonna be like we did before, where like start comparing handwriting? Most people usually don't. Fair thing to say, but I was not sure what to do. So I thought I should let the police know. They came over at once. Yes, Patchley took charge of things and made preparations to protect the temple. Patchley came herself? You see, the letter mentioned stealing a magical grimoire, so it seemed very likely the thief would be a magician. I mean, it's just like... the game is trying to scream it's Marissa right now. Well, if you weren't, you couldn't do anything with it, even if you stole it. What if it was Renosuke? Seems that is why Patchouli, being a magician herself, decided to take charge of the case. But the culprit still slipped past her. It was Narumi, yeah. The police certainly did all they could. Nothing was neglected on their watch. I have no intention of blaming them, and they've arrested the thief already, just a day later. It's so strange. How did the criminal manage to steal the book in spite of all this security? I do not know. I was waiting elsewhere at the time. I see. I heard a loud noise just before the appointed time. Afterwards, I found a large hole in the wall. Good, Kesha was right all along. Hole in the wall? Yes, a hole in the wall. You mean there's a hole in the wall? Yeah, there was a hole and it was in the wall. Perhaps you should go see yourself. Right, we'll have a look later. Hole in the wall, huh? Like that institute last year. Yeah, where there was a hole in the wall. Yes, Byakuya for Grimoire could turn people younger? Shh, we're not smart enough to ask her that. We're smart enough to ask her that. So the Grimoire that was stolen, just what is it? Listen well! Huh? Okay. It was centuries ago. I was locked in a struggle with my own mortality. Before long, my time would come. I became desperate. And so I sought the power of magic, even though it was forbidden by my holy vows. It was Byakuran's brother who stole it! Her dead brother. Through the shedding of much blood, sweat, and tears, I made these secrets my own. All my hardships of that time, all my passions of that time. Gyakuten? Ah, please forgive me. This tends to happen when I reminisce about the past. In any case, I decided to put down writing the magic I discovered during that time in this book. Most of it is spells that alter one's physical attributes. Including rejuvenation? Certainly, you could say that spell was the very thing that drove me down this path. So Alice must have, or at least can't be coinky-dink, she was transformed, the very next day after this book was stolen. I hate that they keep saying rejuvenation and not just, like, confirming whether or not this does what has happened. All the spells of the book are secrets of magic you discovered yourself, aren't they? Why write them all down? What can I say? I may not look like it, but I'm quite old, and I've been feeling forgetful lately. It made me worried that, should something happen to me, these secrets may be lost forever, so I put them in writing. If they had that book, wouldn't a magician be able to use your spells as they please? And maybe abuse them? Yes, that is always a concern. I intend to keep this book safely locked away. We were in the middle of preparing a place to keep it. It would have been ready but 2 days later. In other words, the thief picked the day security was weakened. Does that sound right? Yes. If their security had been perfect, there wouldn't have been any need to call the police. By the way, who exactly knew about this book? Let me think. Alice and Patchouli would have known. Ah, and Marissa as well. I told my fellow Magikans about it. Dude, the game's just screaming that it's Marissa right now. It can't be that simple. It can be, but it also can't be. If his tome gave Byakuran the jiggle physics in the fighting games, true. I did not think they would ever consider misusing it. And they spoke quite candidly of their own magic with me, so I thought it wouldn't be right of me to keep secrets. Else could definitely have done it. In fact, just thank to Patchouli that I wrote this book in the first place. What if it is Patchouli, though, huh? What do you mean? As I said earlier, I've been worrying about my spells being forgotten. When I consulted Patchouli on the matter, she suggested I write a grimoire. In other words, you started writing this book because of Patchouli's suggestion. Yes, but to think things would turn out like this, yeah. I mean, Marissa and Patchy are obviously suspect, but is it gonna be just this simple? And what was it you started writing? It was more than a month ago. In March, I think. More recent than I would have thought. To be satisfied that the grimoire was merely returned. Alright, we have to go through with the trial. I know, but I do not intend to condemn the culprit, whoever they are. I hope you understand. I do. I'm always concerned when this type of thing happens. Oh, I'm so concerned. Like, the last trial just has me scarred right now. Yeah, there's a hole in the wall. You're telling me there's a hole that's in the wall. Wow, that's not subtle at all. Amazing. What else can I say? Why would they just fly over it? I mean, obviously it's like a distraction. Is realistically what it is. But, like, you could just fly over this. Must be the famous big hole. What? It really does remind me of that incident. I think this is what's called a modus operandi. The culprit back then was Alice. But that would mean that this is a ploy that has already failed before. Would you really try to use it again? That'd be a weird thing to do. Somehow this case feels more strange than the others. Look, there's darkness around we can't see through. It was Rumia! As long as it is, it's still a temple door, so it has some dignity of its own. Now you can just use it to go through the hole instead of using. Now you can just go through. Impressive gate. As you expect for temple, even the back gate has a kind of majesty of it. Or it would if they were for the massive hole. Still, the more I look at it, the worse it looks. Can Rumi even read? Oh. She may lie to you, but she can. Rubble got blown so far away. Got blown away? Take a picture of the scene for now. Take a picture of the big hole as evidence and filed it in the court record. It's scorched, so it's probably done with an explosive. It's true. The more I look at it, the more I think of that incident. Could it really have been Alice? I think this will be quite a struggle, will it? It rains and pours, doesn't it? Yes, but all that matters is that no one was injured. Miss Gyakuten is so kind. Don't make me repeat myself. Wasn't Patchley knocked unconscious, theoretically? True that I made a hole much like this one in Intei's wall back then. I had nothing to do with it this time. Hard to believe someone would try the same trick twice to begin with. Culprit deliberately imitating that incident, or is it just a coinkydink? Can't be certain. For now. Here's the scene of the crime. But there's no sign that anything was disturbed. It only confirms that this was a carefully planned heist. Well, there was a calling card, so it had to be. Came after all. Obviously, were you the one who pushed this on me, Patchley? The suspect won't plead guilty, then they'll need an attorney, right? Is there a world that Patchy and Marissa teamed up? I mean, obviously there's a world where that could be. Leaving that aside, you seem pretty confident today. Oh, is that obvious? I mean, she's always this confident. You went mountain hiking just to break the news to me. You have 2 pieces of decisive evidence on Alice. You must realize you simply have no chance of winning. Oh, guys. We have no chance of winning. Time to go. Game everything is possible? Yeah, what if it was a celestial treasure?
With those two pieces of evidence, we only know one. Should I just try to clear everything up now? Nothing to talk about. I have nothing else to say about this. Ah, what a stank. The victim of this case seems almost impossibly good-natured. It looks like she's become quite well beloved in Gensokyo. Dazzling sunlight pours in from the outside. I also hear the singing of birds and the regular beat of a shishi odashi. Birds! Mystia! Celestial doorknob that rejuvenates people, yeah. No, now's the time for contemplation. Your evidence, it's Alice's current state, isn't it? It is, just looking at her should make the truth obvious. At the very least, her transformation makes it obvious she's involved in the incident somehow. But what's the other decisive evidence? The stolen grimoire itself. Gyakuten's grimoire? Yes, we discovered it when we investigated Alice's home. You know what that means, right? I mean, Marissa's just so obvious. It can't be. No way! We have unmistakable signs of the grimoire being used, and the grimoire itself found hidden in her house. Even Chirno could solve this riddle. If then someone even Chirno could convict. It'll be quite difficult for you, I imagine, and I fear I will make it even worse in a moment. So... if the grimoire... so... who would steal the grimoire just to use it on Alice, and then blame Alice on it? By leaving it in her house. What do you gain from this? There's more? There is. A decisive witness. If you say Marissa, I'm gonna beat you to death. Everyone gets like you hate Alzi. Witness, did they see the moment of the crime? Not exactly. You can't really call it decisive then. Well, if there had been a witness like that, the culprit would have been caught immediately. True that our witness did not catch Alice in the act, but they saw the next best thing. They saw her lying in front of Marissa's door as a child. The next? This morning, they saw Alice holding the stolen grimoire. Grimoire of Alice? Seriously? But grimoires are all just like books. All just look like books. Alice has always carried a grimoire of her own around. So maybe that was it, not Miss Byakuren's. That's right. Alice was a magician to begin with, so there's nothing strange about her walking around with a grimoire. I'm afraid that won't be enough to save you. The witness is summoned from this very temple. Huh? I believe her name is Nazarene. It seems she took it upon herself to search for the stolen book after the events of yesterday. When did she see her with this? She has a unique gift for finding anything that goes missing. So Nazarene tracked down the grimoire, and Alice... exactly, she tried to capture the thief herself, but did not succeed. She immediately notified us afterwards. Then... you understand, don't you? She wouldn't mistake another book for her quarry. Nazarene emote to go? What Nazarene emote? Actually? How do you use emotes? Yeah, there it is, see? Not with her power, right? We're just completely cornered, right? You were in charge of security at the time of the incident, weren't you, Patchley? Yes, I was. But I'd like to hear more about it directly from you. I do not mind. You know about the calling card already, I'm sure. Yes, that was why Gyakuten came to you, wasn't it? Correct. Here, have a look. Momiji. Yeah, I understand. April 30th at 9 p.m. That is when your precious grimoire will be stolen. Phantom Thief X.
This is just like Persona 5!
Phantom Thief X. Not very original, are they? At any rate, after the victim received this, we were called to the scene. They were targeting grimoire. I deduced this Phantom Thief X was a magician. It's a Yobu, yeah. You took charge of security yourself. Yes. Though it did us no good. What happened when the book was stolen? Just before the hour written on the calling card came, we heard an explosion. Sakia left the room to investigate. As for me, a presentiment made me stay in this room, but I'd suddenly attacked from behind and lost consciousness. And then what next? You can only guess. When Saki woke me up, the thief and the grimoire were both already gone. You didn't see the thief's face then? No, as I said, I was suddenly grabbed from behind. The boss theme of Hisantoku, not something with X2. What? Sure, I'll believe you. You didn't notice anything at all? There was one thing. In the moment I was attacked, I smelled something sweet. Not this again! This is the Tenchi and Notori case from the first game, where it ended up being Kogasa. Something sweet. Sweet. I can't describe it any other way. For some reason, this feels familiar. Yeah, gee, I wonder why. About that letter, could you identify the handwriting? Actually, we did. Do you know who wrote it? Of course. These are the words of Aya Shimaimaru. Eh?
Aya, you did it!
Huh? Aya was the thief all along? Don't be stupid. How the hell could this be my handwriting? Take a closer look. Can't you tell where paper cuttings were pasted? Whoa, it's true. Words are glued on the paper one by one. Boon Boon Maru newspaper clippings were used. Apparently, seems this trick is a bit of a cliche from the outside world. What if it's the Bakas of Light? This is unacceptable. Ah! It's not my fault. There's no point in poring over the handwriting. Yeah, so humiliating. Wait a minute, Aya. Culprit used cuttings from your paper to make this. Wouldn't that mean they're a subscriber? You're right! Not necessarily. A rag like this could be found easily in any garbage bin. Oh yeah, that's also a possibility. Please don't call it a rag. It's my life's work. There. The thief just reused one of your old newspapers. It's just that recycling thing that's so popular now. You're at the cutting edge of fashion. I don't want my old newspaper to be recycled for doing crimes. Sorry. I must say, old newspaper is too close to an oxymoron. Thrown away's newspaper would be much better. Oh, you're right. I don't want to argue anymore. I just want to sink into the ground. Hopefully never be seen again. There's so much weird at play. You get letters often? Not recently, no, but I used to write many letters. However, I heard from Sanai that people no longer write letters in the outside world, and email is becoming the norm. Yeah, not anymore. Email? Would that be mail written in English? Oh, of course. That makes some sense. If only the language changed enough, then has anything changed at all? I see, she did say they lived in a global era. wonder if things would be any different if this letter had been email. Alice, were you the one who put this together? No, of course not. That's unfortunate. If you were the one who'd made it, you could explain what it means. True that I could answer all your questions then, but that would also be terrible news for your superior. Make you indefensible, that's for sure. The harsh world we live in, huh? To begin with, even if Alice were the culprit, she'd never admit to making this calling card. Why even ask in the first place? Sorry about that figure for analyze. Shush. We stopped using that. Everyone uses gloves nowadays. Well, there's no grimoires found here, so we should investigate too. Ah, yeah, look over there. That's Marissa. You don't look cheery. You look concerned, and that's a bad thing. The sneaky magician. She's already been gone. She looked pretty shifty, didn't she? Pretty shitty. That's suspicious. Not unusual, but suspicious. By the way, Alice said something about Marissa, that she turned to a child when she touched her doorknob. Did Marissa have something to do with this case? No, I don't believe so. Act a human, yeah. It's hard to think she's unrelated, especially considering what she's usually up to. True enough. Pretty large house, and I bet it's filled with dolls. The so-called black and white magician, who never seems to sit still in one place. Many people call her the black-white. I don't think they're talking about her bloomers. Okay. Back again. Wow, reuse backdrop. And here is Alice's house. I know, we've been here before. I remember. It still looks like such a nice house. I wish my place were more like it. Well, I guess I feel the same way. And it feels like something is out of place here. Right, I know what you mean. I noticed as soon as we came in too. What could it be? Aren't you avoiding it on purpose? Well, you know. It's like a sewing kit. First cut, you can say Alice's house here. It was left behind on the table. Its owner must have been using it just before she left. Can she just have forgotten to put it away? Everything else in this room is in perfect order. Would Alice really leave this lying around? This kit definitely isn't in perfect order. Alice is doing it just before she was arrested, then it might be a clue. We should ask her about this when we can. Whose fucking underwear is this? Did this have anything to do with the incident? That's completely impossible. Then let's look elsewhere. Please put them back where you found them first. Ah! That was just... For some reason, they're suspicious. I guess people don't usually leave panties on their living room tables. It'd make perfect sense if they're pastries, but they're not. But this is Alice's underwear? It has to be, right? There's no reason Marissa's panties would be in Alice's house. Right? I guess that's true, but why'd you bring up Marissa? Did you have to smell the confirmed whose it is, yeah. I don't know, she was just here, so maybe I have Marissa on my mind. I is a certified Yuri shipper. Well, logically, if her panties were lying here, Marissa would have to wear Alice's panties in their place. What the fuck? What the f- But then Alice would have to wear Marissa's panties, and that would mean... Well, let's cut that out right now. Okay, fine. We'll just have to ask the people involved directly. Evidence panties are added, evidence where evidence belongs. It's only on one piece of underwear, yeah. What the fuck? 2 cups on the table, but who would Alice have tea with here? A doll? 2-seater couch, but I don't think Alice has anybody to share it with. Kind of sad thought. Bookshelf filled with books, but the biggest books are on the top shelf. If there's an earthquake, it could be dangerous. A large picture decorates the wall. Painting of a human. Part of Alice uses art as a reference for her dolls. Fireplace is fenced off. Well, winter is over, so that's to be expected. I've seen this kind of rocking chair in books before. When you sit on it, it keeps swaying back and forth, swinging back and forth. For some reason, I can imagine Alice sitting there, knitting. Time to go show this underwear to everyone. Shit, I didn't actually want to go here first. Drop the panties, Alice. Alice, do you have more time to talk? I have nothing but time here. For now, let's start with the easiest questions. This is underwear, isn't it? Yes, that's right. I do not wish to judge, but should you really be showing this to people for no reason? I do have a reason. This is important evidence. These panties? Yes, these panties are evidence. Don't meet my gaze for some reason. Like she's contemplating the vastness of the universe. I love this game. Wait, what are you doing, you deviant? No, this is important evidence. Evidence or not, panties are panties. It's true, but, do Crotego have some sort of fascination with panties? Like my behavior shapes the whole world's impression of Crotengu for some reason. I love this game. Sometimes. Probably best not to show this off. I'm not showing this off. I'm trying to discover more about this crucial evidence. I don't think you're just showing them off. This is evidence! I get it already. Even if some of the plots are questionable, at least the comedy is top-notch. Why would the culprit have written this? I wouldn't be sticking this in your face if I knew. By the way, don't you have thoughts about this? Oh, well, what do you think, Momiji? Do you not have thoughts of your own? Don't be silly. I just want to hear your thoughts first. I think you don't want to think about this. What is it? Being stared at has been settling, you know? No, I was just thinking about what you'd look like if you turned into a kid. I think it'd be more interesting if you became a kid. Well, I guess it's only funny if it happens to the other people. So, what did it look like when you were young, Aya? I'm sure you must have been really cute back then. Unlike you? Unlike now, you mean? Ah! Did I say that aloud? I visited your house a short while ago. I see, did you find anything? You'd left your sewing kit on the living room table. Were you working before you were arrested? How is that that no one realizes? Did you not wonder at all? About what? About my clothes. As you can see, I am much smaller than I was before. So where do you think the clothes I'm wearing came from? I see, I didn't consider that at all. I just thought the spell had changed them too. Amateurs always think a magic spell can do anything, but a spell is a technique that produces a certain specific effect, in accordance with immutable laws. That's why I said science and magic are one and the same. Well, like, I could expect that from you or Patchouli. Doesn't it feel like Marissa sees magic differently? She always seems a lot less academically minded. How should I put it? You did forensics a while ago, using Kappa technology, didn't you? Even though you didn't understand the theory behind it, you could still get results by following instructions. It's the same thing. I think I understand. So these clothes, what about them? When I came to, my body was smaller, but my clothes were unchanged. I had no idea what I should do. I couldn't wear them in my state. Even my underwear would just slide down the instant I stood up. It's a good thing you didn't run to some kind of paparazzi. But it's you saying it, it doesn't sound like a joke. What'd you do? I walked home with my clothes dragging on the ground. Didn't want anyone to see me like this. And you're also dragging your underwear? Just forget about it. Write about whatever you like in your article. I don't care anymore. Aya? Excuse me, but this is an important detail. Please just continue your story. When I made it home, I brought out my sewing kit. I got to work on my living room table right away. I refitted the shirt and skirt I'd been wearing. The police arrived to arrest me as soon as I was done. That's how it was. How long were you sewing, by the way? It's only like 40 minutes. 40 minutes? Not a lot of time, is it? Alice, is there anything else you want to add? There isn't. If I forgot something, then show me. Show you. I could, but I don't know if I should. Did you fail to sew panties in time? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I'm about to get banned off Twitch. Alright, it's on. Hey! Why are you carrying this around? Oh, these are your panties, aren't they? You haven't shown these to anyone else, right? Of course not. Why would I have shown this to anyone? To be awkward might have been the funniest thing in any of these games. Obviously not. There's something I have to ask about these panties. There's nothing to talk about. This doesn't have anything to do with the case. I cannot say that for certain. What are you talking about? Alice, I can tell when someone's stonewalling me, but considering your story and the state of your house, there's only one thing that comes to mind. And what is that thing? What is it that comes to mind? Dancing around seems to be a pain, so I'll be blunt. Alice, do you have underwear on right now? Well, I'm gonna have to censor this. What? Aya, have you gone crazy? I am dead serious. Alice told us as much herself, that she was arrested after refitting her skirt and shirt. In other words, these are the only things Alice refitted. No wonder why the makers of these games went on to make foreign games after this. Ah, I see. They were like, what if we made this case? But hentai. Even before that, Alice told us something else. Her underwear would slide off just from standing up. Meaning her panties need to be refitted too. She never said anything about that in her story. I'm wearing them, I just didn't think I had to mention them. That's not true, Alice. You must know where I found these panties. They're on the table you were sewing at. This can only mean they're panties you plan to refit. Ooh. Aya on her way to be like, if you have them on, why don't you show me? Oh, what is this game, dude? But the police came in the middle of your work and arrested you as you were, so you could not be wearing any panties now. Why are we going on about this? Right. Are you satisfied now that I've been thoroughly humiliated? No, that's not why I asked. Oh, so there's evidence in the case. Yes, naturally! I tell you, they're unrelated after all. She might actually kill me. And you will keep them safe until the case is resolved, and you return them to me without fail. I'll guard them with my life. Pays have been identified as Alice's panties. Now she's been going without. I understand I's patrician fetishes, but... Dude, are we gonna go see Renosuke? Do we get to see Renosuke on day 2? Aye, that's about time we have to go. There's so many mysteries still unsolved. Well, we have to clear them up in court. Let's focus on avoiding the guilty verdict first. That's how it always goes. Day 1 is try to make sure we get through with Alice not being decisively evidenced as the culprit, and then day 2 is the other person who did it. Double pants achy. I wish I could. I mean, we probably will at some point, in all honesty. It finally begins. So it does. You look rather despondent today. You were much more lively the last time we met in court. I've discovered something in my time as an attorney. Motivation is something that shows on your face. You definitely could have cut it as an actor. Well, I don't want to be an actor, so there. More important, what? What do you mean you don't want to be an actor?
I'm pretty sure at least one of the Grand Prix probably has Aya in it. Probably more. Speaking of which, I have to go through. I really should go watch some of the Grand Prix at some time. More importantly, it seems there's plenty of damaging evidence and witnesses. And this one is so good. I hate reaction content. I would love to do it. I'd love to do that specifically, but I also probably couldn't without getting banned. Copyrighted all over the place. That's true. Well, all I could do is believe in your ability as a lawyer. But thank you for your trust. There's one thing I must make absolutely clear. I've never laid a finger on Byakuren's grimoire. I understand. We have to go. There's too many unknowns in this case to see clearly. We'll have to unravel things in court little by little. Like we always do. Banui. Trial of Alice Marge Detroit will now begin. Your Honor, their defense is ready. The prostitution is ready as well. Good, then let us hear the prosecution's opening statement. Yesterday, on April 30th, the calling card was sent to Murren Temple. It gave advance notice that an attempt would be made that night to steal the grimoire belonging to the temple's head priest, Byakuren Hijui. Our police force awaited the culprit at the scene of the scene. Nevertheless, the thief eluded us and made off with their prize. As today, we have conclusive evidence and testimony that will elucidate the events of that night. I can declare here and now the defendant has no hope of escaping this time. Yep, no hope of escaping. Don't worry, Patchouli. Your 0-10 track record is sure gonna help you this time. But how did the thief manage to outmaneuver the police and commit this crime in the first place? All this and more will be explained later. First of all, please have the defendant brought before us. Very well. Defendant may take the stand. Prosecution? Yes, what is the matter? Where's the defendant? I'm standing right here. Prosecution? Yes, what is the matter? Has the defendant gained the power of invisibility? I'm right here. Kya. I think she tried saying her tiptoes and fell over. Can we get some... Can we get some threes? Seems like it.
He looks really embarrassed right now. I know, it's adorable. Bailiff, please bring a box over. Prosecution? No need to ask, I'll simply explain. That girl at the witness stand is Alice Marjatroyd. What? She's got the box. Order! Patchouli, what's the meaning of this? As I've said, she's accused of stealing Byakuren's grimoire, which holds the secret of rejuvenation. Rejuvenation. Simply seeing the defendant's state should make it abundantly clear. She used the stolen grimoire. We're gonna use the fact that she was making clothes after she turned into a child and not before as evidence. Because if she intended to use this on herself to turn her into a child, or to make her younger, she would have done that previously, ahead of time. Order, order! Prosecution! You're certain that such a spell can be found in this grimoire? There's no doubt about it. If necessary, I can have Gyakuten Hidri herself testify. In that case, it may be pointless to deliberate further. Alice being turned into a child doesn't prove she was the thief. Someone else could have done this to her. Someone else, you say? Vague statements such as this have no place in this court, right? Patchouli, my statement has meaning. Yours is worthless. But even if this someone existed, it would not change the defense position. Her crimes have been exposed. Do you be calling witnesses? Yes, to begin with, I wish to prevent a summary of the incident proper. Very well, you may call your first witness then. Witness, your name and occupation. Taki Izu, I am here today as a detective. Now then, Taki, please tell us all you can about the night of the crime. Yes, certainly. The Murin Temple heist. The incident at the Murin Temple occurred at 9 o'clock, as promised in the calling card. I really doubt this. But at the end of the Iku chapter, Remy was talking about eating the pill that makes her look older. What if there's a world that Patchouli and Sakuya teamed up to steal it for Remy? They could sweep it and steal something without being seen all through the ground. True. Maybe that's why they stopped making these after TD came out. And they went on to make hentai. At that time, Miss Patchouli, several maids, and myself were on watch in the room where the grimoire was kept. 1 minute before the appointed time, there was an explosion behind Murin Temple. Fortunately, the maids of patrol were uninjured. A large hole was blasted in the closing wall. We heard this, my subordinates and I rushed to the site of the explosion. Seeing that hole, a bad feeling came over me and I rushed back to Miss Patchouli's side, but I was too late. Nothing in this testimony seems to implicate the defendant in the incident. That will have to wait for our next witness. But she is someone who saw the victim's grimoire in the defendant's hand the very next day. Hearing from them, we made a search of the defendant's home. Having discovered that stolen grimoire during the search, we made our arrest. Where did you find the grimoire exactly? Underneath her couch cushions, we found that poor, lonesome book there. These idiots fell for a simple distraction, yeah. There's no doubt it was the victim's stolen grimoire. None. The witness Nazareth had come with us, and she identified it herself. I now understand why it is you made your arrest, but there's one point that still worries me. And what would that be? Why did the culprit send a calling card in the first place? Oh yeah, that's one mystery we haven't solved yet. I can think of one possible reason. What is it? The culprits styled themselves a phantom thief, kind of criminal from the outside world stories, who will typically give advance warning of their crimes for the sake of theatrics. Sake is theatric. Perhaps Alice has come to find a thrill in stealing. It wouldn't make any sense for her to take such a huge risk just for that. You would naturally think so, wouldn't you? That is why Alice sent that calling card, to divert suspicion away from herself. Dude, I'm gonna fucking... He's considered a recluse, to avoid standing out, not the kind of person you'd expect to announce her crimes. That seems like pretty flimsy evidence. You mean to say the calling card was an attempt at camouflage? Precisely. That'd be some incredibly risky camouflage. The heist went without a hitch, so it did her no harm, and the defendant's clearly not above this kind of trick. She's committed theft and attempted to frame others for her crimes twice before. So perhaps she tried to create an imaginary scapegoat this time. She's bound to bring up her criminal record, huh? This is extremely bad. Let's put aside the matter of the calling card for now. The defense may cross-examine. Show them Alice isn't the culprit somehow. Yeah, but we're cross-examining Saki, Your statement seems interesting for, like, why are we cross-examining it? And you're sure of that? I'm absolutely sure. April 30th, 9 o'clock, Mirror Temple. We tensely awaited that moment and didn't relax our guard for a second. This was what was written on that calling card, wasn't it? Yes, and the target was the priest's grimoire. Announcing announcement's crimes. What impudence. Well, you will soon have a chance to pass judgment on this impudent thief. Well, Alice may be a thief, but she's not impudent. You know, I just had a thought. I just had a thought. Can't Aiki use her thing to, like, look at people and, like, actually judge whether or not they're guilty of crimes? Or is that a spell card? She can't use a spell card because the spell card rules are going on, or, like, spell card bans going on right now. That's not what she's on trial for. That's maybe a thief, but she's not impudent. I'll assume you're referring to the defendant's past offenses. Continuing the cross-examination. Should have thought this one through more. In total, how many people would have been in this room? There were 3 maids with us, so 5 in total. You can see in your heart to see all your misdeeds or good things you did, which result in your current karma. So, theoretically, couldn't you look in someone's heart to see if they're guilty of a crime like this? Then, why didn't you tell us that there are 3 maids from the beginning? Pardon me, I couldn't remember how many there were on the spot. Several or 3 is the same thing. That's true as far as words are concerned. But surely you 5 are not the only ones on guard. Yes, you're correct. I posted maids throughout the temple's rooms and halls. Just to think about, what about Ramelia? Lady Ramelia was at the mansion at the time. Why didn't she come too? Why? There was no need to trouble the mistress with something like this. But didn't you end up letting the thief get away? Well, perhaps you underestimated them. Just gonna let that slide? And you're certain it was 1 minute before... Yes, 1 minute. Or, give or take 1 or 2 seconds, perhaps. Surely you'll accept that is within the margin of error. An explosion preceding a burglary. Remember a similar incident occurring before. You remember correctly, and the one behind that incident was Alice Margitroid. Order! On the contrary, this is a trick that Avena has used before and it failed. You think she'd just try the exact same thing again? That's impossible. Impossible? Couldn't that be the reason? Yeah, I would have said improbable, Aya. What are you talking about? It'd be absurd for the same person to commit the same crime in the same way. Creating the misconception could have been her goal. But, in any case, unless you can prove the defendant could not have caused that explosion, you should keep quiet. Here's the defense has chosen to keep quiet. Let's move on from this topic. Were any maids patrolling near the hole? Some were, but fortunately no one was hurt. It happened while no one was nearby. That's good to hear. Yes, it was the silver lining, this dark cloud. But that hole. Should I ask a few more questions? But why would the culprit make a hole in the wall? I came to the conclusion it was a distraction. We rushed from the room as soon as we heard it, after all. No one stayed behind? No, Miss Patchy remained on guard. But as soon as Saki and the others left, I was attacked from behind. And then I lost consciousness. By the time Saki and the others woke me, the grimoire was already gone. Did you not see the thief? They came from behind, so I saw nothing. But I think I smelled something sweet before I fainted. Sweet smell again. What was it that destroyed that wall? Well, the defendant's gunpowder-loaded dolls, no doubt. Must have been placed near the wall and detonated. That'd certainly work. What should I do about this? Your Honor, I wanted to add the witness's last remarks to be added to her testimony. Very well, witness, if you would. Certainly. You mean outside the outer wall that encloses the temple? The criminal could not have been inside the temple, after all. There are many officers on guard there. That does seem obvious. Yes, that'd be the natural conclusion. This is how far as the explosion's site. Would have been, it's been a 30-second run. It should have been. Sakia, it's pointless to try to hide it. Witness, you should not hide anything from the court. Please testify openly. Yes, I fell down. Fell? Tripwire, perhaps? I lost my cool, being suddenly thrust into action, so while running to the scene, I slipped and fell. I heard the other maids helped her up, and she hobbled to the scene holding her knee. You didn't have to go into detail. That's... what should I say? Sounds like you had a hard time. I knew it would turn out like this. Well, it seems it took some time for you to get to the site of the explosion. The fact that she had to nurse her knee suggests as much, in which case, it would have also taken you a little while to return to the priest's quarters. But please don't analyze my shame with a straight face. Not something you see often, bashful Sakuya. I love that. Right, I wish I could take a picture. Hold a moment. Witness, you can manipulate time, can you not? Did you not stop time while you moved? I lost my composure at the time, and it completely slipped my mind. How convenient. Well, she had just taken a fall, hadn't she? That's understandable. I'm sure it was a perfect and elegant fall. What kind of bad feeling? Reminded me of the Iente robbery from last year, and sure enough, when I returned, I found Miss Patchley unconscious and the grimoire was gone. Yes, the other incident turned out much the same way. Criminal's modus operandi is that it's abundantly clear what this means. Anyone who knew of that incident could have mimicked that trick. Such as the defendant, or yourself. Suspicion of the defendant is getting ever thicker, it seems. Nothing I can do. At least the police didn't see Alice at the time of the incident, right? Our only saving grace at this point. We've proved it wasn't Alice somehow. Now let's press her and learn all we can. See if there's anything new. Yep, the Sky Devil Station's perfect and elegant maid detective. Well, maybe calling her perfect is a bit much. As ever, the Yama who sees everything in black and white is the judge. However, you should not take this to mean that she wears black and or white underwear. Critical information. Nothing was just said that I didn't read previously. Sakia, there's one hole in your testimony. A hole in the wall? You can guess what it is, right? What is that supposed to mean? I'm referring to the hole, the literal hole in the wall. I have a picture of it right here. Quite a large hole indeed. And you say there's something wrong with it? Yes, it's quite glaring. These shows the defense. Yes, mere rubble's the problem. You don't understand. Let me explain. According to Saki's testimony, the culprit blew up the wall from the outside. But then, that rubble had been blasted towards the temple. Ah. But the rubble in this picture was blown outwards. So it appears. That would mean the explosive was not outside the wall, but inside. Impossible! Smart deduction. I know, it's crazy. Order! But then, how did the culprit do this? That's right. We are all on guard inside the temple. The culprit could not have placed a bomb within our watch. You're right, Sakia. The police came to Myoran Temple in force, so a bomb could not have been placed inside. And as this picture shows, that's exactly what happened. The explosion was no mere distraction because the criminal had already infiltrated the temple. But how? With the police at the scene. Actually, you were the one in charge of this operation, weren't you? Someone suspicious had been spotted placing a bomb at the wall. You would surely have been told. In fact, if anyone that did not belong in Myoran Temple was seen, it would have been reported to you. Miss Patchley. Well, prosecution, did you receive any such report? I did not. But in that case, please stay calm, Your Honor. Just now, everything came together. Oh my gosh, dude, I want to fucking strangle this chick. What does that mean? Sakia, present the remaining evidence. It should clear up this mystery. Yes, of course. Please have a look at this. These are maid clothes. One of our uniforms, found shortly after the incident. Miss Patchley and I discovered it in the brush.
What the fuck?
Then the culprit? Presumably, they wore this, and masquerading as a maid, blended in at the scene. That's more and more like a stage theft by the SDM, yeah. Wait a minute, how would Alice even get one of these Sky Devil Mansions made uniforms? It is not unthinkable. We have plenty of spares, and the other maids do not keep particularly good track of them. Anyone familiar with the mansion could probably get one. Seriously? The uniform was stashed away in the court record. However, that doesn't mean Alice ever wore this. Actually, when I inspected this uniform, I smelled her scent. I discovered further evidence. It was attacked on the brush. What might this be? The suspect's perfume was found in one of the pockets. When I examined its contents, it had been laced with the spores of the trader's cat mushroom, a powerful soporific. What was that? Laced perfume? That sweet scent I smelled when I was attacked, it was most likely this perfume. Oh, we've seen her perfume in evidence before. So you're telling me it was Kogasa? Order! You know, the defendant must have been the one wearing this uniform. I disagree, Your Honor. What do you mean? This is obviously a carefully planned crime, so don't you think it's strange that evidence that would clearly identify a culprit was left at the scene? Anyone could have a moment of carelessness. Alice had made it away from the scene, so she may have relaxed her guard. That seems like flimsy evidence, Patchy. Why leave this uniform behind at all? While you're on maid clothes would draw undue attention anywhere but within the temple, so she would have taken off her disguise at some point. I have a simpler, neater explanation. Which is, as I said, it's simple. Someone tried to frame Alice using these clothes. A frame-up, your go-to excuse. Well, am I wrong? Remember why Alice was arrested in the first place? Your go-to excuse. Hey, Patchy, can you remind me, Patchy, of what my record is in these trials? The day after the crime, she was seen with the stolen grimoire in hand. And she was turned to a child by the power of that grimoire. And this grimoire was found in her house. Yes, these 3 facts. But on the other hand, these 3 facts are all there is. Feel they are more than enough? What if they're all fabrications? The Alice seen with the grimoire was someone in disguise, letting themselves be seen with the book on purpose. Alice and Marissa have similar hair. The culprit has not disguised themselves as a maid, so why not disguise themselves as Alice too? First, it could be if it forcibly transformed Alice using the rejuvenating magic on the grimoire. And the grimoire discovered in Alice's house could have been placed there after the incident. This seems a little like by someone else, right? As I've said earlier, claims this vague have no place in court. I'm only presenting possibility, since the case against Alice is based entirely on circumstantial evidence. But with such plentiful evidence, it would be absurd not to suspect her. At the very least, that perfume is hers. And that's a problem. Why would she have to use something so incriminating? Why would we turn things around? Why would we turn things around as you love to do? Alice brought suspicion on herself deliberately. That's ridiculous. Because she'd be unrecognizable, turned into a child. Her old self would bear her crime and disappear. That would have been the end of it. What the fuck? Actually, there's a fatal contradiction in that theory. Oh, is there? Interesting. Then show us. I want to see proof of that contradiction. Shit. What am I even, like, arguing against? Don't be the underwear. Don't be the underwear. Don't be the underwear. Yes, this evidence is contradictory. As I said. Yes, it contradicts your claims. Oh, that wasn't the right evidence. I could figure out random fail me. She's not clear that Alice deliberately brought suspicion on herself, but that doesn't make any sense. Damn, I have to go through this entire conversation every time just to get my HP back. Holy shit, I have to go through so much conversation just I want to get my HP back. Power of skip. Yeah. Why would they use this? This is the proof. The calling card. Remember what Patchy claimed about this calling card? Divert suspicion, yeah. You said Alice used that calling card to hide her guilt, so it wouldn't make sense for her to leave that perfume behind. Seem improbable, but the odds are not 0. The odds aren't even close to 5%. That's enough. It appears that this testimony alone will not suffice to confirm the defendant's guilt. I understand. Then allow me to summon the decisive witness. I may take the stand. Here comes Nazarin Sprite. Hello, Nazarin. Witness, your name and occupation, please. Name's Nazarin. I don't know if you'd call it an occupation, but I'm good at finding lost items. The talent you used to find the grimoire after the incident. Yep. The thief got away from me, so I couldn't get it back. Even so, we tracked down the grimoire thanks to this witness's report and arrested the defendant. I see, then please satisfy us what you saw. I don't mind. Gotta make sure anybody who steals from the temple gets properly punished. Ooh. This is the theme they used before, but it's a little different. This is not the mix they've used previously. Security got left to the police before the burglary, so I wasn't at the scene. Honestly, if they can't catch one thief as does as the cops there, then I can't trust them. I went searching for the grimoire by myself this morning. That's when I found Alice holding it near the Forest of Magic. I tried to capture her myself, but she got away, so I had to let the police know. Went to her place to arrest her some 20 minutes later. From timing, she had been sewing for about 40 minutes, so she would have actually been naked, dragging her clothes behind her as a child, walking through her fucking house. No, actually, at this point, she would have been at her house sewing by now. I understand you saw the defendant, but it is true that we failed our duty that night, so I'll ask you that you please overlook the witness's attitude. Well, if the prosecution will permit it, then so will I. Somehow it feels like the mood is getting worse. It can be hard to make it through this one. The defense may begin their cross-examination. Understood. It doesn't sound like she's lying, but this is nothing like what Alice told us. Get to find an explanation somehow. These were Patchoulie's instructions. Yep, going behind the other bench. She said to leave guarding the temple to the police. I was opposed to it, but Her Holiness agreed, so we all waited in a separate room. We didn't see any part of the incident proper. That's right, we didn't see a thing because of the police. Concerning this, I apologize. The grimoire was recovered at the end, so all's well, I suppose. That's the problem. Whoever, like, did this didn't keep the grimoire. They purposely gave it, after using Immerse, gave it to her to blame her on it. Berlin said the same thing. Sheesh, she's way too kind. Now, can you please continue your testimony? Were there this many police maids on guard? Yeah, all those people, and they couldn't catch a single rat. That sarcasm? I can't tell. It's more like self-deprecation, doesn't it? Hey, you two, no chattering while I'm talking. Let's move on. And you did this all on your own. What's so weird about that? I find what others have lost. It's what I do. Hopes, dreams, grimoires. If you've lost them, I can find them. That's the whole reason I'm here. You find hopes and dreams as often as you find grimoires? I'd be envious. We're getting treated with this a lot this trial. When you're dowsing, every day is an adventure. Finding treasure always brings some joy into your life. You know, chasing after dreams is nice and all, but we should focus on reality right now. That was when I found Alice holding in near the forest of Mamjuk. Had you met Alice before this? Of course. She does puppet shows in the village, and she passed by the temple sometimes. Say, I think this all started when Her Holiness said she wanted to see her dolls up close. Must have been when she first saw Byakuren's grimoire. Yeah, there's no doubt about it, since they're both magicians. It looks like they got along well. So Her Holiness talked to Alice about the grimoire and even showed it to her. Then Alice went and betrayed her trust. Sorry to take a really bad turn. What should you do? You'd met Alice before, but when you saw her this morning, was anything different about her? No, not particularly. She looked the same as she usually does. Except she was holding Her Holiness's grimoire. Witness was well acquainted with the defendant, so there should not have been any doubt. When you say she looked the same as usual, you mean that nothing about her had changed. Guess that question will you come up with more meaningful questions. I'm just confirming. Well, you can ask as often you want, it'll be the same. She's wearing the same clothes she usually does. I think she needs a little reminder that Alice is not her usual self. Alice myself, she got away, so I had to let the police know. You say you tried to capture her, but what did you do concretely? Well, we can't fight things out with spell cards right now, so I tackled her to the ground. Would she still escape? I guess I got pretty careless. I was pretty careless too. She bonked me in the head with the grimoire as hard as she could. After she got away from you, you went to the police? Yep. You suck, answering. That'd be the time between when you saw Alice and when you went to her house. Hold on. Here's a question, though. So, if we believe Alice, she was sewing for about 40 minutes before she got arrested in the middle of sewing. If this would have been 20 minutes prior, this is presumably, say, Marissa or someone else, pretending to be Alice. And they had the grimoire at the time. How did they get the grimoire inside Alice's house while she was sewing? Yeah, that's about right. Let me make this clear. 20 minutes passed between me running into Alice and the police entering her house. Took some time. I got hit in the head when I tried to get her. It made me a bit dizzy, and it took me a little while to get my bearings. Alice's story is true, and then his testimony was wrong. Even then, Nazareth doesn't seem to be lying. That would make sense of it. Simple. The Alice Nazareth saw was an imposter. Among Us! Imposter? Imposters always lead to one thing. Contradictions is the real thing. The page and everything I want to. It's a little bit strange, Nazrin. I know what I saw. If I'm looking for something, I find it. Oh, I don't doubt you found Byakuren's Soul and Grimoire like you set out to do. The problem is with what you weren't expecting to find, Alice. Problem, you say? Nazrin testified very clearly just now that when she had an encounter with Alice, she looked the same as usual. What's going to happen is Patchouli is going to claim that she changed herself to be small after this. And then we're going to use the panties as evidence to be like, she had to sew her clothes, and it was going to take her too long. It couldn't have been that. But today's Alice is nothing like usual. What? When you saw her, Alice should have looked like a child. Hey, wait, that can't be right. After being seen by the witness, the defendant fled. If she turned herself into a child afterwards, then everything makes sense. But the problem with that would be the time that passed between the sighting and the arrest. According to Nazrin's testimony, it was 20 minutes. If Alice had been a child for less than 20 minutes, we have a new issue on our hands. What issue? Did you think it was odd? By using the spell of rejuvenation, Alice became a child, but that would not have made her clothes smaller. That is true, so how is it the defendant has clothing to wear? Because after she was turned into a child, she rushed home to make new clothes for herself. And that took her 40 minutes. 40 minutes. Therefore, if you'd arrested Alice 20 minutes after her transformation, she'd be on trial in the nude. Patchy's gonna argue that she had just made the clothes earlier, and then we're gonna prove that she's not fully clothed right now. As evidence. Order! Well, I wish the defense had chosen their words more carefully. Their argument does stand. Yeah, here we go. Does it really? It's only a desperate excuse. What's that supposed to mean? From the beginning, Alice intended to steal Byakuren's grimoire to rejuvenate herself. And in that case, she'd prepare clothes beforehand. Clothes that would fit a child. You're smarter than this. In that story about spending 40 minutes sewing, a lie made up by the defendant. Alice, you're smarter than this. Alice, you are smarter than this. Order. You have to counterattack here. But Alice's words just isn't enough. Yeah, we can't afford to doubt Alice here. We have the decisive piece of evidence. You have to break down Patchy's claim somehow. We gotta show Alice didn't prepare in advance. Prepare. If you're gonna say something, now's the time. Too bad, Patchouli, but Alice did not prepare that outfit beforehand. You seem quite certain. I hope that means you have proof of your claims. This is gonna get bad. Of course I do. Have a good look. Don't do it. It's too late. Defense? Isn't this... Keep your filth to yourself. We are in a sacred court of law. No. This is important evidence. Listen, right now, Alice isn't... Hold it! Objection! The defendant! You have not been given leave to speak. Excuse me, but what are you doing? This is a vile creature mode indeed. Why would you show the courtroom my panties? Defendant, this is your underwear? No, it's, Please calm down, Alice. This is all to prove your innocence. Are you insane? Well, when you wave them around like this, it's hard to disagree with her. Anyway, if I have a child, Alice would also need panties. Can we move? Yes. Had she prepared clothes in advance, she would have also prepared underwear. If she had, Alice would be wearing panties right now. How do we prove? Oh no, no! I would prefer the censorship at a time. Order! Well, guys, it's a long ride through Twitch. Fortunately, it's over. In other words, right now, Alice. What is wrong with you? Defendant, about your attorney's claims. I deny them entirely. No, you can't do that. If you deny, you play to the prosecution's hands. This is sexual harassment. I'll sue you. I'll take you to court. Could we please focus on the theft you are in court for right now? I had to do it, but it still feels bad. Seems willing to clear up this matter to progress. Komachi, take the defendant to a private room and carry out an inspection. Komachi, no! I am on it! Come on, little lady. Oh no! Hey, let me go of me! Komachi's what was the result of your investigation? She wasn't wearing any panties. I see. And where's the defendant now? She was, pretty upset, so I left her in the other room. Probably for the best she doesn't come back to court until things calm down. Yes, I agree. Let's continue the proceedings in the meantime. The degenerate game you're playing. You're the one who recommended these games to me, 11. This is your doing. So I think this confirms Alice could not have prepared her clothes in advance.
Thank you.
Sadly, missing undergarments are not proof of anything. The matters are closed. Obviously, she'd also have prepared underwear. That is, if she was transformed of her own volition. As the now both scenarios seem equally plausible. Then we should make absolutely certain it was the defendant the witness encountered. Indeed, witness, please testify in detail about the person you saw. Yeah, okay. Still going? Through the looking glass. What is this game? The Alice I saw looked the same as always. Her clothes, her hair, her boots, even her headband, everything looked like was like usual. Just the only thing that was strange, she didn't have a doll with her. And that's everything I saw. Nothing significant has changed. Why would I? I told you everything I knew from the beginning. The one the witness saw was definitely the defendant. You should all understand this by now. In any case, defense, you may cross-examine. Yes. I'm just testimony. There's one part I'm worried about now. If I bring more info out of her. Bruh. So she looked exactly the same as usual, you're sure? How many times are you gonna make me repeat myself? It was Alice I saw. You're familiar with her as you say you are, I can't imagine you made a mistake. I don't think it must have been an imposter. The real Alice would have been a child then. She wouldn't have had any clothes to wear otherwise. That is if Alice told us the truth. So she's wearing her usual outfit with her usual hairstyle. Yep, I couldn't have mistaken her for anyone else. The Alice she saw must have been a fake. Real Alice had fainted earlier, turned to a child. The imposter would have had a chance to steal some of her clothes then. But who could it have been? No, I thought she said she dragged her clothes back with her. I mean, the game, it's just screaming Marissa. So the Alice you saw didn't have a doll. Well, no. I know you tend to say, but there's not nearly enough to suggest it was an imposter. There could have been many explanations for that doll's absence. Not even Alice has a doll with her at every moment. I agree, this does not seem particularly strange. Is that right? So that's all. That's what I said. I gotta clip the whole panty thing and just put it in Discord and at Game Glitcher with no context. He's never acted evasive like this before. Nazrin, that's not everything you saw, is it? Well, what are you talking about? There's nothing else. Defense, you are not to badger the witness. I'm only asking the witness a question. If I was wrong, she wouldn't be afraid to tell me. If she's this shaken, there must be more to it. Erg. Must agree with the defense. Witness, was there truly nothing else? It's your fault that I remembered it. Hey, what did I do? Because you made all this ruckus about panties. I would not call it a ruckus exactly. I saw them. Alice's panties. When I tackled Alice to get the grimoire back, we both fell to the ground. That's when I saw him. Some real striking black panties. Then Alice panicked, picked up, slammed the book down on my head. I hear it see. Dude, this... I mean, it's really good. It's really good content, but it... definitely better than the last round sword. Your Honor, I demand that save be added to the testimony. This has nothing to do with the incident. Keep your underwear fixation out of court. This way you'll be branded a pervert. This is extremely important information. So please add to your testimony. The defendant believes these panties are significant that I will allow it. If you're asking for the sake of your, for the sake of your predilection.
Predilection.
Predilection. For the sake of your predilections, I will penalize you harshly. Never mind, you've already been branded a pervert. I'm only doing what I have to do. You saw them, black panties. Yeah, I can't get them out of my head thanks to you. You're welcome? What? Oh, Momiji! I don't think that's what she meant. This testimony hasn't actually changed at all. Like, looks like it. I don't think she was lying to begin with. The one that I saw was fake house, right? A better question, how we prove it was a fake. Why have I used this evidence twice? The person Nazrin saw might have not have been Alice. There's no way, I'm sure. Then maybe this will change your mind, Nazrin. The Snow White panties Alice wore that day. What? How do you even know that? This morning, after she was turned to a child, Alice refitted the clothes she'd been wearing. But she didn't have the time to get to work on these panties. They were left behind on her table. And these were the panties you stole. Yes, wait, no, I didn't steal them. This is evidence. This isn't proof she wore these that morning. I will not allow this to stand. Then I demand we ask the defendant to confirm. Miss Attorney, please get a hold of yourself. How long are you going to keep up this farce? There's no doubt that the culprit who had the grimoire wore black panties. We only have to make another search of Alice's house and see if these panties belong to her. That'd be pointless. Such evidence would certainly have been destroyed. Really now. So you too consider these panties to be evidence. Traumatizing Alice the case, yeah. They are not evidence! That is enough. I will not allow you to disrupt this hearing any further. I'm afraid I must reject the defense as evidence. Your Honor! It's true that all the evidence against the defendant is circumstantial. But conversely, the evidence is quite extensive. Furthermore, we have witness testimony. Your sole rebuttal is the color of the defendant's underwear. It's clearly not sufficient. There's no doubt the colors are different. What underwear the defendant was wearing cannot be proven. Obviously, you have a collection of pictures to show us. Yeah. Isn't there anything you can do? No, there is nothing you can do, Mr. Attorney. There's no need to... There's no other suspect than Alice. Suspect other than Alice. Aya? At this point, I might just have to take a shot in the dark. Sure, all the evidence against Alice is circumstantial, and there are flaws in the witness testimony. I just have to expose them now and prove it later that there was a true culprit. Your Honor, the defense would like to call a witness of their own. By that, you mean a suspect other than the defendant? Yes. Then please make yourself clear, otherwise I'll have to penalize you if you simply throw out a name at random. I understand. The true culprit must have been a magician, because they stole and used the magical grimoire. I think of stealing books, there's only one name that comes to mind. Shinigami's always slacking off. She's also been made the court bailiff. I wonder if she likes it more than her usual job. The dowsing Yokai associated with the Muir Temple. If something gets lost, it's her duty to find it. So she went on the hunt for the stolen grimoire. Yeah, I hope this day ends pretty soon. It's Marisa Kirisame. Why her of all people? Our culprit is a magician. There's no doubt about that. And if you consider it was a grimoire that was stolen, then you should understand. Her rap sheet for theft is longer than anyone's. What does the prosecution think? I must admit I'd consider it myself, so I will consent to calling her as a witness. Then let us end the hearing here for today. The prosecution shall make preparations to call Marisa Kirisame as a witness tomorrow. As you wish. Or is hereby adjourned. Oh, there's my answer. Alice is about to be pissed. Oh, shit nuts. Pull up. Pull up. I'm not clicking the enter button. My hands are off the keyboard. I'm only on the mouse. Is it gonna be alright using Marissa like this? It's fine. Everything against Alice is circumstantial. So it can all be bent. So it can all be bent to the point at just about anyone. But that's... We're not gonna frame someone innocent, obviously. We're gonna make sure the real culprit is the one who pays. You! Don't act like you can't hear me! Alice! About what happened? What you've done, you mean? I mean, now that I've been disgraced in front of everyone, I'll accept nothing less than an acquittal. If I'm found guilty, then it'll be all of it for nothing. I promise I'll do my best. I expect more than that. You'll surpass yourself. Of course! We've shaken this case against you, at least. We'll definitely prove your innocence tomorrow. There'll be no more surprises like this one. Naturally, it's gonna get worse. Whose vibrator is this? In that case, I'll be counting on you tomorrow as well, Miss Attorney. I do love these games at times, but oh boy, these take something out of me. Aya, good morning. Morning. Did you get any sleep yesterday? Yeah, plenty. I saw you cornering Marissa in my dreams. Let's hope it was a prophetic dream. Let's get straight to work and make it a reality. Not much dialogue. Okay, good spot to end her for now. Been 2 hours, so I will take my leave.